Hello and welcome! My name is Jessica Gem, and in today's video, I'm completing a background mood piece that I did for a Christmas present for my aunt and uncle. To see the sketching process, check out Christmas Sketches Part 2, but for now, let's get into it. To start off, I decided to change the wine glasses. The height of the stemmed ones was interrupting the composition that I wanted, so I went with stemless instead. Like with the teddy piece, I wasn't sure how I wanted to render it, so I quickly tested out lines and decided to stick with a similar style, but trying to make them a bit more subtle this time. I went ahead with some very loose perspective work, mostly just trying to get the general idea across. I kept the lines for the fireplace very rough because I knew that I'd be blurring it a ton to push it into the background, whereas the table I did a bit smoother of a job since it's in the foreground. I work on the tree next, using some fern textures as my base for the needles. I added the napkins and glasses to get the idea down, and then started working my way up from the fireplace, adding in base colors to everything. I did some light rendering on the fireplace, again not adding too much detail, and changed the lines to be less harsh. I added the actual fire part of the fireplace, trying to get the grate, edges, and logs to look at least a little bit plausible by looking at some reference photos. More rough shading and a lighting layer, and I had a cozy corner. Now to work on the tree. I add some colored layers to define the shapes a bit better, then I start decorating it. Some beads, shiny tinsel, and sparkles are always welcome. Some detail is added to the table and runner, and then the baseboard, for realism. I bring the walls together with some color and texture, and then of course light up the tree. I add more ornaments, details, and cheer, and then get back to work on the background. I noticed things were looking a bit bare, so I added candles and family photos to the mantle to make it feel more alive. I blurred the fireplace and tree and saw that there was more room for Christmas over there, so I added a lovely garland and blurred it too. I wanted to start work on the glasses, but to do that I had to know what was going to be reflecting, and for that I needed lighting. I started on that, adding a few different layers of shadow, lights, and glow till it felt nice and comfy. For the glasses, I started with some basic glass and wine rendering, but quickly got a little crazy with it. I added highlight after highlight, rounding them all off to look like they were actually following the curvature of the glass. I paused on that for a second to finish up with the runner, adding patterns and texture to it as well as detailing the napkins. Then I brought the glass back to have it reflect onto the table. I also added the reflections of the fireplace and Christmas tree, then copied the glass for the second one, changing up some of the reflections to make them distinct. A couple more small adjustments, a quick signature, and it's done! Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've had a wonderful holiday season. If you enjoy this video, please grant me a like, and if you'd like to see how all of my other sketches turned out, subscribe to join me. That's all for now, so farewell and have a happy new year!